Next, we're going to bring up to you, as we continue this holy day, this first day of the year, Minister Keith Muhammad. He is a minister in, I believe, San Francisco, and he has come out today. He's a proactive member of the clergy. I've always seen his name in that he's always been on the ground floor, on the grassroots or something. So here we are with this beautiful opportunity to bring all our different faiths together and merge with this one common goal of this family that has extended what happened to them on a personal level and a private level to include all of us. They don't know us. They didn't know me from Adam. But I stepped up to the plate. I was asked, and I tried to say, no, I'm not qualified to speak on religion or faith or anything like that. I don't have religious credentials. But here I am at the grassroots, and I am so fortunate to be a part of helping to shape the legacy of Oscar Grant and harness this energy that we all have here today, and to carry it forward into the future, standing straight up with our backs straight as one, with the same common goal to uplift and shape the legacy of Oscar Grant at the direction of Minister Wanda Johnston and her brother, Cephas Johnson, also known as Bobby. So with that, I would like to introduce Minister Keith Muhammad.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, the one God, to whom all praise is forever due, the Lord of all the worlds. Allah, the creator of all things. Allah, the revealer of all truth. Allah, the sender of all prophets, we thank him. For Moses and the Torah, we thank him. For Jesus and the gospel, we thank him. For Muhammad and the Holy Quran, and may the peace and blessings of the one God be upon all of his worthy servants. As a student of the teaching of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, we could never thank him enough for intervening in our affairs and raising the most honorable Elijah Muhammad to lead, teach, and guide us, and leaving with the honorable Elijah Muhammad a helper, one that would help us to better understand his mission. And it is he that I represent to you, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. It is in their names that I greet you. With the greeting words of peace, we say it in the Arabic language, Assalamu alaikum. These words in English simply meaning peace be unto you. We're gathered here, of course, because on January the 1st of 2009, many of us were awakened with terrible news. And when we were awakened, most of us, quite frankly, did not yet know what happened on January the 1st until footage released from a cell phone camera found its way to YouTube and eventually to KTVU. We're thankful for those passengers on that BART train on that night, 5 of whom have already had their footage entered into evidence. We're told that there are somewhere in the range of 30 videotape pieces of evidence. Can we give a big round of applause and thanks for all of those courageous passengers who pulled out their phones, who pulled out their cameras, who did what many have failed to do spectacularly in the past. And one of the reporters asked me before we started this program today, what made this case different from so many others? As has been stated before me, many of us can declare out of personal experience, I am Oscar Grant. Because what Oscar suffered that night is not unlike what so many men, women, and children have suffered in Oakland and all over the country, being confronted by unjust rogue law enforcement officers with a chip on their shoulder on that particular day. So when we declared, I am Oscar Grant, be crystal clear that most of us did not have the benefit of someone recording for the eyes of the world to see what happened to us on our fateful days. And so we're thankful to the family of Brother Oscar. We were blessed that Reverend Humphreys, who spoke before me, opened the doors of his church, that on January the 3rd, we happened to be at his church in what has now become a weekly town hall meeting, where we've been in his church town halling. On a weeknight, Councilperson Brooks was with us one night. A drive-by shooting happened while we were in there having a town hall. We recognize the importance of organizing and mobilizing our community, and when we learned that Oscar had been killed, we were already there in a town hall having one for men only. Later, 2 days later, with a town hall at Arroyo Viejo, Councilperson Brooks and I and a handful of people began to dialogue over what now was being seen in the national and local news of the killing and murder of Brother Oscar. By the way, Brother Oscar was murdered. And we want to be clear on that. I read in the paper this morning where there was a reflection on the homicides in the city of Oakland. And while we know that one homicide is too many, what it reported was that of the over 100 murders in the city of Oakland this year, that Oscar's life was yet to be recorded in that circumstance as a murder. Well, out of those 107 murders, let's be clear, no one has been arrested in most of them. Very few of them is it clear who the assailant was. So we don't know what the intention was of those that murdered our brothers and sisters that lay in the graveyards of the city of Oakland, in the city of Richmond. We don't know many times who the shooters were, but in this instance, there is videotape footage. We know who the shooters were. We know who the murderer is. So for the Oakland Tribune and whomever records these things to declare that it won't even count Oscar Grant as one of the 100 plus murder victims in the city of Oakland, quite frankly, that's just wrong. So let me say, as we move forward in our vigil, well, a vigil is a spiritual thing, which is clear, but you know, faith without work is dead. So when we're spiritual, there is a necessary work that goes along with that spirit. And so we are honored to share with all of you, regardless of faith, regardless of race, regardless of economic status, that we stand together to demand justice for Oscar Grant, and that we stay together until justice is served, and allow no one and nothing to disturb our try and our road toward justice. So may God bless and keep us to remain vigilant. To be vigilant, by the way, means to be prayerfully watchful. Amen. We want to know every element of this case. We don't want to allow any step to occur that we are not right there ensuring that judges do right, that attorneys do right, that prosecutors do right. Because, quite frankly, the history of our struggle in this country has been so long and so hard, we would be remiss in our duty if we didn't watch and make demands that everything in this case goes as it should go. So may God bless and keep us to remain organized, to remain united. I leave you as I came before you. Assalamu alaikum.